We've got Haley Augello here at the Olympic Training Center. Haley, talk about this week and kind of what's been going on.
So we're here in Colorado Springs for camp. It's been a while since we've all been together, so it's really nice to see all my coaches that I had from this summer leading up to Rio, and it's really nice to pick their brain again and really practice what I learned this summer, because I've been in a different training environment, so it's really nice to get back to what I learned and freshen up on all the new things and new people I met, just to freshen up and see them, and it's been really nice.
Yeah, talk a little bit about your experience in Rio. It was the first time at the Olympics, kind of what you learned.
Obviously it wasn't the outcome that I wanted, but I think I learned a lot from it about myself and about my training and about what I need to do in the future to reach my goals that I didn't get to reach this time. It was definitely very heartbreaking at first, but I think after a big tournament like that, you can choose to sulk and let it control your life, or you can get back up on the horse again and just really work harder. That's really all there is to it. And I think it took me a while to realize that I needed to stop sulking and to get back on the mat and really get back into training shape. So yeah, it was hard not to reach my goals, but it was such a great experience, such a blessing to be part of. So no complaints there. I wish I could have brought home a medal, but I learned a lot from it, and I have no doubts in my mind that I will bring home future medals from what I've learned there.
Yeah, what was your biggest takeaway wrestling-wise from the Olympics?
I feel like it was such a thrill to compete on that stage. Everyone always asks me, what was your favorite part of Rio? And I'm like, competing, duh. Sometimes I forget that you have to, because they see this opening ceremonies and all this fun stuff, and it's I think I just was so excited to compete there that when people ask me what my favorite part about it, it should seem like a really easy answer, but then I forget that they're like, oh, the whole thing must have been awesome. I'm like, yeah, it really was, now that I think back on it, but at the time I think competing and being in that environment was the most amazing, interesting, thrilling thing I've ever experienced so far in my life, so it was really great.
Yeah, update us a little bit on what you've been up to since Rio.
Yeah, so I moved back to Bristol, Tennessee to compete for King University. I competed with them 2 years before the Olympics, and then moved out here for my Olympic redshirt year, so I'm back there competing for them. We actually just won our 4th national title as a team a couple weeks ago, and we're coming up to nationals, individual nationals, here in a couple weeks in February. So it's just been a lot of training, getting back into shape and getting more matches, because in the college season you have a lot more opportunities to wrestle weekly or every other week. So I've just been getting back into the shape of not just training, but actually competing every week like the college scene requires.
Yeah, you mentioned the year that you took off away from college competition. What's it like to be back in that environment now?
It was definitely a hard transition getting back to it. Especially after living in an amazing place like the OTC, here at the OTC, because you have so much at your disposal, recovery, so many coaches coming in and out to just pour knowledge into the room. So we're a little restricted with that kind of stuff at college, obviously, because you have a whole team to worry about. It's not just 4 Olympians or a small group of elite athletes. It's a whole team, and so you're not really getting the same amount of attention you would as being an Olympian or a world team member. So that was definitely a transition, and going back into classes all day and then practice. I feel like I didn't realize how much that is mentally draining. I have a lot of respect for athletes that do school and compete, because it's a really draining process going through 4 or 5 classes during the day and then practice at night, and then whatever you do for weight management in between and lifting, adding that all in. It's just a very hectic life. So it was a transition, but I'm ultimately grateful to be back there, because I think it's important for me to get my degree and to have other priorities besides wrestling, because if wrestling's your whole life, every loss is going to be very devastating to you. And I love wrestling, and sometimes I get so obsessed with it that it does become my whole life, and I have to remember to have other priorities, like school, and I just got a dog, so that's awesome, and family, faith, all that. You just kind of have to bring it all together instead of getting obsessed, I should say. It's good to have the one-track mind of wanting to be a champion, but you can't let it devastate you every time. So I think that's a very important lesson I learned this past couple of months being back at King.
Definitely. You mentioned the upcoming events that you have on the college level. What does your schedule look like on the senior level?
I will be wrestling at World Cup and then at World Team Trials, and that's it for the senior level. And then I have nationals for the college level.
Very cool. Thanks.
Thank you so much.